Some people think HOAs just enforce a few harmless rules. But for me, it started with a barricade, a wall that turned my own driveway into a prison. They thought I was powerless. They didn't know my brother was a judge. I had lived in that neighborhood for 4 years. A quiet cul-de-sac, kids riding bikes, manicured lawns, the American dream. Or at least that's how it looked from the outside. But the HOA, they were different. They weren't neighbors. They were tyrants in polo shirts. That morning, I stepped outside with my coffee, ready to drive to work. That's when I saw it. A line of orange barricades across my driveway. At first, I thought it was construction, but then I noticed the smug face of Clara, the HOA president, arms crossed, waiting. "Good morning," I said cautiously. She smiled. "Not for you. You're in violation." Violation? Of what? I walked up to the barricade, heart pounding. "What rule are you talking about?" I demanded. Clara raised a clipboard but didn't show me a thing. Section 14, Subrule 9. Unauthorized modifications. I stared at her blankly. "I don't even know what that means." She smirked. "Then maybe you should read the bylaws." Neighbors started to gather. Some whispered. Others recorded on their phones. My car sat trapped behind that barricade while Clara and her board members chuckled. I felt humiliated, powerless, until a thought struck me. My brother. 2 hours later, a black SUV pulled up. Out stepped my brother, Daniel. Calm, collected, in his tailored suit. He wasn't just my brother. He was Judge Daniel Carter. Clara's smirk faltered. She tried to hold her ground. "This is private HOA property. You have no jurisdiction here." Daniel didn't raise his voice. He simply opened his briefcase, pulled out a document, and handed it to her. "This," he said, "is a signed injunction. What you've done is unlawful restraint. You've blocked access to private property without due process." For the first time, Clara's eyes flickered with doubt. Police arrived moments later, summoned by Daniel himself. Within minutes, the barricades were removed. Neighbors clapped. Cameras caught everything. Clara turned red with rage. But Daniel leaned close and whispered something only I could hear. "This isn't over. They've been abusing this whole community. And now, we're going to expose them." Over the next few weeks, we dug deeper. Daniel obtained records, financial statements, even secret emails. What he found was shocking. The HOA had been illegally charging fines, pocketing funds, and targeting homeowners who dared to question them. That barricade? It wasn't about me parking wrong. It was intimidation. A test. At the next HOA meeting, Daniel showed up again, this time with a court order and a file thicker than a dictionary. He laid it all on the table. Fraud, misuse of funds, abuse of power. The board members went pale. Clara tried to shout, but Daniel raised a hand. "Your time is up." Weeks later, we found ourselves in a courtroom. Clara versus Daniel. HOA versus justice. The judge presiding over the case wasn't my brother, of course. That would have been a conflict. But watching him argue, watching him dismantle their lies piece by piece, was something I'll never forget. When the verdict came, it was clear the HOA had overstepped every boundary. The fines were illegal. The barricades? A violation of civil rights. The HOA board was dissolved. Clara was banned from holding office in any neighborhood association ever again. The barricade was gone. The fear was gone. And for the first time in years, our street felt like a community again. Sometimes you need more than patience to fight injustice. Sometimes you need a judge on your side. And this was just one story of an HOA gone too far. If you think this was wild, trust me, the next one is even crazier. Please like and subscribe, because you won't believe what they tried next.